trying to make sure I'm not. Oh, I wasn't even live on YouTube. Goodness gracious. Well, hopefully everyone still saw that. Okay, so now you can see it. But yeah, thank you for everyone who's watching on YouTube as well as here on Instagram. And yeah, so hopefully everyone is on here. Man, comments are flooding in on Instagram. By the way, if you do want to watch this on YouTube, link will be in my bio. I have a link tree, and it will link you directly to this episode. If that's what you want to do. If not, we'll just mainly go off of what's on Instagram. Man, so we got a bunch of people joining. And thank you to everyone who's following as a result of that. I really, really appreciate that. SaadleUp is getting some headphones right now. That way we're not having any weird audio issues. But thank you to everyone who has joined so far. Better ask my questions. Aaron, I will definitely get to your questions. Just... Some of them, I was going through them earlier, and you've got some interesting ones on here. So thank you to everyone who's joined in. I'm pulling up the questions now. All right. And yeah, this is definitely going to be a fun episode. I'll keep on continuing to hype up my guests. Not that anyone here needs that. For anyone who's been a part of Batman cosplay for any length of time, there's no doubt you've heard of SaadleUp. Probably one of, if not the biggest Batman cosplayers ever. Which, yeah, no pressure for me, right? And just a lot of fun. I was very, very honored when he agreed to be on here. And it looks like he is back here. I see him on my Skype feed here. And then we'll get him back on, get him back here on Instagram. Then we'll actually have him live on chat as well. Okay, yeah, just go ahead and send another request. Ben Affleck is biggest. Yeah, I guess he would technically be the biggest Batman cosplayer. Okay, let's see. View request. And I did accept the request, I'm pretty sure. Just make sure. Okay. There we are. Okay, so now we're back on Instagram. And I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the interview screen here on OBS. So, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only SaadleUp. Man, thank you so much for being here, my friend.
Thank you.
It's a huge honor. I was just hyping you up a little bit. Not that you needed it, but man,
Appreciate that.
huge honor to have you on here. Let me move the...
Thank you for having me, man. I'm excited to answer any questions that you might have and just talk about Batman stuff. I haven't done one of these in a while, so I thought now would be a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's definitely a huge honor to have you on here, and definitely had several questions brought in. I'm going to spare you some of them because my follower base. I mean, I don't have anywhere near the followers you've got, but I'm sure. You whenever you put up the sticker on Instagram for people to send in questions, you get some doozies, and I definitely have some doozies.
Gotcha.
Well, man, so I'll just I don't think I got any questions about this, but I'm curious just to kind of get your hot take on the Batgirl suit that was revealed last night, I think.
Yeah. So I liked how it was very accurate to that one comment or comic. Sorry, what was it called? What's the name of the comic? You know what I'm talking about.
Burnside, I think.
Yeah, Burnside, and it looked. When I first saw it, I thought it was straight out of there, which I'm personally fine with. I'm always talking about comic accuracy because I feel like the comics are usually the way to go. Mm-hmm. And granted, there are so many different comics, but I think as a initial suit, we have to remember that she's probably on a budget. It's not like she gets like Bruce Wayne's gear right off the bat. I don't think. Maybe. I don't know. I don't really know the background of the character yet. Nobody really knows. But
right.
I was okay with it. It looked very like it was functional enough to work, and I dig the purple and gold. It was different. So I like how I think it stood out, and I saw a lot of hate for it, and I thought that was unfortunate because Um, it looked very accurate to that comic. So I mean, maybe people don't like that look, but I'm sure if she gets more movies, they'll keep switching it up or whatever.
Right. By the way, I did see the comments about having some audio issues. I think that was actually on my end. Hopefully, that's fixed now. Um, so yeah, it should be. There might still be a slight echo, but I think that should be fixed. And yeah, I totally agree. The thing that can't help but find a little bit ironic about that suit, I actually really like it. And I was under the impression,
Mhm.
is this a show or a movie?
Uh, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a movie, right?
Yeah, I'm not so sure. I don't know. Maybe they can correct me in the comments there. I couldn't remember if this was going to be a HBO Max show, if this was intended to be a movie. Either way, I really like. I love the Batgirl Burnside bat suit. I've tried to get my wife to do that cosplay for a while, and oh, it is a movie. Okay, yeah, she won't do it. She
Yeah.
doesn't like the purple, but I absolutely love it,
Hmm.
and it's really cool. But what I can't help but find a little bit ironic is, some of the comments I've seen is uh, people were, I guess, expecting what we typically get with these movies, where it's kind of a realistic version of the comic.
Hmm.
But people love like the Batfleck suit, which is to me kind of that perfect comic
Yeah.
to real life interpretation. So when we basically get the same thing for Batgirl, like I've seen worse Batgirl suits. Like I think the
Yeah.
Alicia Silverstone one in Batman and Robin, but also I can't remember the girl who played Batgirl in Birds of Prey. Have you ever seen Birds of Prey?
Birds of Prey, they didn't have a Batgirl.
Well, not the movie. There was a show
Oh,
back in like the late early 2000s. I think it had
oh,
like
there
one
was
season.
really.
It was terrible. Don't watch
I
it.
didn't see it. Okay, I won't.
It
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, it might be on HBO Max, but there was a Batgirl suit on there, and I'm pretty sure it was just the Alicia Silverstone Batgirl suit, but they did some work on the emblem. And it's not that
Oh,
bad,
okay.
but it's definitely or it's not that great. I mean, but compared to the Leslie Grace one, I really like it. I think it's really cool. Um,
I see.
so I was just curious, and yeah, I
Um,
like the whole for a year one style suit. I think it's better than the Pattinson suit in terms of a beginner suit.
I think just about everything's better than Pattinson suit. You might you
Oh
might have seen
man,
my comments about it. And to
shots
be
fired.
honest, I have not I have not been online much since the suit picture by Leslie was released. So I'm not really sure what people are saying. I've just seen like just a few comments here and there, people just trashing it and calling it a CW suit and everything. And um, I think it came out around like I might be wrong, like 10 p.m. last
Hmm.
night Central, and then I just haven't been online, so I haven't been really analyzing it or seeing what kind of feedback people are giving it. So I'm not really sure what's the deal, but um, yeah, I think for one, it's better than the Pattinson suit. At least it has some flow in it, which the Pattinson suit does not have at all. There's just all kinds of there's just no flow in the Pattinson suit. You got a cowl that's a leather stitched cowl
Hmm.
with awkward shapes, and then you have the armor, which is kind of like almost like an Arkham series armor, where it's got like sharp edges and everything. And then there's just like no flow, and it's just weird to me. But yeah, I'm still excited for the movie. We get
Yeah.
like Brendan Fraser as Firefly, and Brendan is amazing, and supposedly Michael Keaton's coming back, and I just think it's gonna be cool. And we got some different guys. I forgot the director's name. Like I think it was Adil or something. There's two guys. They're like brothers. I gotta Google their names. Hang
Hmm.
on. Batgirl director.
Well, while we're
Uh,
on that topic, I am curious to know what your opinion on that is. With Michael Keaton supposedly being the Batman of that movie series, and I'm assuming based on some of the things we've seen, it seems to be loosely tied to the DCEU, not just with J.K. Simmons being Commissioner Gordon, but
yeah,
there was a few like magazine covers that directly reference things from the '89 continuity as well as the DCEU. So I'm assuming that's a
yeah,
spoiler for Flash, but what's your opinion on
yeah.
that?
On just Michael Keaton coming back.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to make sense of it. Um, I guess yeah, the Flash is going to have an impact on it, so we'll have to see it. And then there's the fact that I love Michael Keaton. I think he's still maybe an even better actor than what he used to be. But he is 70 years old,
Right.
so I I'm not sure how that's going to work. Maybe tons of makeup and some CGI, or I really don't know if I mean we got like a really old Bruce Wayne in the Titans show, and that wasn't working for me
Right.
because he just seemed just way past retirement. So I don't really know what to expect. Are we going to get Michael Keaton in bat suit, or are we just going to get Bruce Wayne, or are we going to get both? It's just like I really I'm excited, but I just don't know what to expect, and maybe that's a good thing for once to not know what's coming really.
Right.
But
I
I hope
mean,
they have some good ideas up their sleeves.
yeah, because I mean, like when Affleck was announced for Batman versus Superman, I mean, pretty much everything, the main beats of the story pretty much called from the get go. Like, okay, well, the suit's very Dark Knight Returns. The second we saw Doomsday, we knew, okay, well, Superman's going to die, and stuff like it
Yeah.
was very predictable. I still enjoy those
Hmm.
movies, but it's still very predictable. So yeah, you
Yeah.
really don't know what to expect with it. I'll be honest with you, I feel like it's a wasted opportunity because like
Oh yeah.
like Keaton is the perfect age and the perfect look to do like a Batman Beyond type
I was
series,
just thinking that. Yeah.
which would be
Hmm.
really cool. I don't know why the camera keeps wanting to move around here on OBS, but it's all right. I'll keep an eye on it. Um, but yeah, I think it would be amazing to do like a Batman Beyond type thing, and I wouldn't mind seeing that in the '89 continuity. Um,
Hmm.
but I think that the thing that is concerning to me is the fact that it does take some of the teeth out of Flash because we know, at least we're assuming, it'd be like if, and spoiler alert for No Way Home, it would be like if there was there's a trailer for a new Avengers movie that comes out before No Way Home, but Andrew Garfield is Spider Man in that movie. It just completely takes the teeth out of what's happening in No Way Home. Same thing with this,
Yeah.
with the Flash, with some of the changes in the leaks that have come out. Like we can tell, like
Hmm.
okay, somehow this is somewhat connected to the DCEU, which means Ben Affleck is no longer the Batman of the DCEU. Michael Keaton is. So something is going to
Hmm.
happen in Flash, and we can only assume what that is. Um,
Hmm.
but to me, it just kind of I almost kind of wish that it would have been a reveal of the movie, or just another idea. Just don't have Batman in it. As much as I love Batman, just don't put Batman in Batgirl. Um, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I would rather. I mean, I'm a big Affleck fan, and obviously, I would love to see him in more
Hmm.
movies, especially in the Batgirl. But if his time has come and gone, I think we all just kind of need to accept that and move on. But I feel
Hmm.
like if Keaton's going to continue in on a Batman adventure, I would have much rather seen him in Batman Beyond, personally,
I
and that's more
I agree.
believable than a 70
Very,
year old wearing a rubber
very
gimp
much so.
suit.
Yeah. Uh, it's WB, and I stopped understanding what all their moves that they've made for many years now. So you're right. I think you're absolutely right. A Batman Beyond scenario works perfectly with Keaton's age right now, and that's kind of what people want to see. It's something different, you know. I think it's yeah the perfect setting right now to just like go into the future and do something because cyberpunk is kind of like one of the trending things right now.
Hmm.
And imagine like yeah Batman in that kind of urban setting where everything's like just like a neo Gotham. It'd be pretty damn cool, I think.
Yeah.
And it'd be different. It'd be sci-fi and futuristic. I love that kind of stuff. So yeah, absolutely. I wish they were doing a Batman Beyond thing. Maybe they are, and they're keeping it really well under wraps because
Yeah.
that'd be cool. But yeah, it doesn't seem like they know how to really keep anything secret either, which is not good because
No.
I got it. Speaking of No Way Home, it's like amazing how like they kept Andrew and Toby like completely under the radar
Yeah.
for so long, and that was also impressive. And spoiler, same thing for
Yeah.
I'll give it 5 seconds. Five, four, three, two, one for Matthew Murdock to be in there. That really got me excited, and because I love Daredevil, it's
Oh
probably
man.
my favorite TV show ever. So for them to keep everything under wraps like that and have nobody know about it, it was great. I
Yeah.
think there was some leaks by what's his name, Jason Campia. I might have completely got that wrong, but he made some leaks, and but then people didn't believe it, and there were some definitely some leaks eventually, but I think overall there, when it comes to WB, like we hear things like before the movie even starts production, and it's kind of like okay, um, we can kind of see where things are going and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
um, but yeah, maybe I think someday we'll get a Batman Beyond movie. It's just like one of those things that's bound to happen, or at least a video game, like an Arkham video game and Batman Beyond style. That like that'd be cool. They were apparently also like working on that, but scrapped it. Um, so yeah.
That would be fantastic if we can get something like that. Um, yeah, I'm definitely curious to see it. I think most of the most of the hate surrounding this movie, not really hate, but the negative comments you see surrounding this movie, referencing Batgirl, of course, has a lot to do with some of the behind the scenes choices that people don't agree with. Like, well, I don't really like how Keaton's Batman in it, so obviously this movie can't be good. Well, ideally in a Batgirl show, Batman's not that big of a deal. I mean, yes, I get it. You know, she is technically a, I don't want to use the word derivative, but she's a Bat family character. Like I get it. Like, you know, in the ranks of the Bat family, but this isn't a Bat family show. It's a Batgirl show. I think it's okay for Batman to kind of take a back seat on it, and I get it. You know, maybe not being happy with the choices they made there, but you know, give it a shot. I think the suit looks cool. I'm looking forward to seeing more of it. Um,
Yeah.
so I guess we can get into some of these questions here. I'm really trying to decide how I want to approach some of these.
Go
Um,
for it.
so we'll start with an easy one. Oh, that's actually a good one. Do you have any merchandise for your fans, like T-shirts, prosthetic chins, anything like that
Oh,
you could sell
uh,
to your fan base?
like on me right now, or so I'm actually at a friend's place, so I don't have any of my stuff right now.
Yeah.
But
I think the question is
uh,
mainly just like, do you have it like it from your social media platforms? Do you have like a something like maybe T-shirts or something? Another way people can support you other than just following you
oh,
on social media.
oh, I see. So my own merchandise.
Hmm.
I don't. I mean, I've never really bothered because I never really thought there was that much of a demand for that kind of thing. I don't think I'm that big of a deal. Um, uh, T-shirts. I mean, I guess that's a good idea. I wouldn't be. I'd be open to doing something like that, or um, people have suggested making like a cheap action figure or something, or but I don't really have anything. I thought about doing prints, and but there wasn't much interest for that either. I mean, there's always a few guys who are like, "I'd love to buy prints of you," and I'm just like, I can sell them to you individually and just mail them over myself. But yeah, I've never really set up any merchandise in my own name. Again, I don't think I'm that important.
Well, I'm sure you know there's what 106,000 people who might disagree, but yeah, I understand totally. Um, so let's see, what is your favorite bat gadget?
Favorite bad gadget? Ooh, absolute favorite. Um,
Well, there's an obvious choice. I'll let you say what yours is, but there's an obvious choice of what the best one is.
does that include the Batmobile? Or
You can include the Batmobile, yeah.
okay, I'm thinking strictly the gadgets, like his. off his utility belt. There's an obvious choice. Um, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think what you're thinking. What's the obvious choice? This is like some. This is like some Riddler thing.
Yeah, it is kind
Uh,
of like a Riddler thing. There's a
oh man.
few. I'll list some of my favorites, and you can just tell me. So you have the bat shark repellent. I think that's got to be the top. Is the bat
Oh, that's
shark
your top.
repellent.
Okay.
Well, and also I think my favorite one because it's the of everything that Batman does, it's the least believable. And I can't believe this is the one that popped in my head when I read this question. You remember in Batman and Robin when Robin got frozen solid by Mister Freeze? And
Oh
he
yeah.
and he just put him in this random pool that was just there, and he had
Yeah.
this like little laser gun that
Uh,
somehow heated the whole pool and turned the whole room red. I think that's the best Batman
that's the
villain.
best one. I wasn't even thinking of that. I was just gonna go with a safe choice, like just the grapple gun. I mean,
Yeah.
the way he gets around with the grapple gun, and not just gets around, but like pulls and reels in people, and like or like reels in weapons, and just all kinds of things he does with the grapple gun. It's like it's pretty much like his version of like Spider-Man's web shooters. I mean, that's like how he gets anything done, really. And without the
Mm.
grapple gun, I mean, he's going to have a lot harder of a time dealing with everything. So grapple gun, yeah, just gets him back in the Batwing, gets him out of tough spots, and just yeah, the grapple gun is kind of like something I wish I could actually have in real life because that'd be pretty sick, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah. If I had to pick a serious answer, it would definitely be I love the grapple gun. It's
Yeah.
also the hardest one to kind of replicate because it's such a staple part of his character, like you said. Like people have made batarangs, and I've actually got some like functional, like throwing star batarangs that my wife loves when I throw them around the house,
Hmm.
and things like that. But the grapple gun's the one thing. Um, so man,
Hmm.
there's so many. I'm not going to get to all of these. I'm just trying to fix some of the better ones. Um, so you've already kind of established some of your feelings about the Pattinson suit. My question to you is like, do you have a favorite movie bat suit? Like a favorite, maybe a least favorite? Kind of rank those, however you
Uh,
feel.
yeah, that's a good question. I love talking about that stuff for sure. I think favorite movie from the movie specifically, you said,
Hmm. Or just
definitely.
bat suits in general. It could
Oh,
be
in
from the
general.
game or something like that.
Oh, um, okay, that makes it way harder. The good thing about the movies is there's still not too many movies, so it makes that choice easier. Um, but if I may, I'll start with the movies. I love the Batfleck suit, like you said. I think that's the best one from BVS specifically. I thought the Justice League one was cool, but not as cool as the BVS one, in my opinion. Um, just the way it was comic accurate and the way it was very functional, and that people think it's like supposed to be muscle padding or something for Ben Affleck, but it's actually like an endo armor thing going on. If you've like just noticed from all the behind the scenes stuff and like the way they designed the suit, it's actually like armor padding underneath like that fabric. Which the fabric is supposedly like some kind of Kevlar or something. So, and then even the cowl is like it's got like a metal skull basically underneath the rubber portion. So um, that suit is probably my favorite from the movies for sure. I wish the ears were a little longer, but that's like my one gripe about it. Um,
Hmm.
and otherwise, it's like the perfect suit, and I was really excited to see it. Um, Overall, though, best suit. It's tough. I mean, and I feel like that opinion changes every day. Sometimes I love the Arkham Knight suit from video games, or sometimes I prefer the Arkham City suit. It's more of a classic look, and the Arkham City suit's great because it combines like the classic look plus like modern tech, and it's kind of like also like the Batfleck suit where it's like Kevlar plating and everything, and um, so I think those are some of my favorites for sure. Picking one, I don't know if I can pick one, and that kind of like It's a dynamic favorite. It's
Yeah.
never just one.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it tends to just be the Batfleck suit. But I agree. Like when you look at all of the, oh, my Skype just kind of cut out. That's just because I'm looking
Oh,
at the camera. But
there you
um,
go.
it like when you combine like all the comics, all the games, and everything, the Batfleck suit specifically, like I said from BVS, that tends to tick the most boxes for me. But I'm a sucker for a good like classic Hush suit or like a. I really like the '70s Bat suit from the Arkham Knight game because it's kind of a that Neil Adams style, but kind of more
Oh yeah,
modernized version.
yeah,
Now
that's a cool one.
here's an even harder question.
Okay.
Of all of your bat suits, of which you have several at this point, or at
Yeah.
least have worn several, do you have a favorite?
Same kind of thing. It's like picking one is like picking a favorite child, I think. I don't know if I can do it, but
Well, you can ask my parents. Picking a favorite child's not that hard.
oh really?
It
I hope it's you.
was obviously,
Okay,
yeah,
great. That's no problem.
yeah.
Um, so I prefer my top two are for sure my Arkham Knight, which was made by Nate Hero, and my I call it the Black Mamba suit, which is kind of like my own, um, I guess, custom idea of what a bat suit could be, where I took like different elements from different suits. I took the fabric cowl and I took the classic oval emblem from like the Keaton movies, um, and just made kind of our own belt. And and it's funny, the fabric we used was actually so the original idea for that suit was it was going to be a Black Adam suit. Not
Mm.
many people know that because that's around the time Shazam came out, and then me and my buddy Cody, who works with Dastardly Designs, were like, you know what, let's do a Black Adam suit because that'd be cool, and it like with all the Shazam hype, it'd be pretty cool. But then the problem was we ordered the fabric from Parallel Life Studios, and they ended up taking like a whole year or something for them to get the fabric to us. So
Man.
by the time we got it, the Shazam hype was basically gone. And we were just like, you know what? Let's just make it a bat suit. Like, this is some badass fabric. And it's just like, I'd probably promote it better as a bat suit. And Black Adam's cool, but, we had no idea what's going on with the movie back then. This is like 2019 when we were planning this out, I think. I think it was 2019, yeah. So we decided on a bat suit. So and then it turned out pretty good because the fabric kind of turned out to be um, perfect for a bat suit, and then we got the new 52 gauntlets from Tiger Stone FX. So I feel like all of those elements combined turned into something that was really nice. And so I think that's my other favorite suit.
Yeah, I would
So
say
yeah, I love that one.
if I had a favorite from yours, it would kind of be the first suit I kind of associated with you. That would be your Rebirth suit that you did.
Oh yeah.
Or
Hmm.
I guess you still have that one.
Hmm.
And one of the things I've always appreciated about you, and I know you've got some, we'll call them replica suits, like your Arkham Origins and your Arkham Knight. They're very
Yeah.
accurate, and I'm sure you're very meticulous about making sure that everything was perfect on them. One of the things I always appreciated about you was you were never afraid to do your own thing and come up with an original design. Like
Yeah.
the Rebirth suits got some elements of like DOJ and Justice League with the gauntlets and everything, but it's still very much it almost feels like an oversimplification to refer to that as your Rebirth suit. It's just it has the most similarities to that, but it's a totally
Yeah.
unique idea, and that's just something, especially at the time when and I don't know how long you've been wearing that suit, but when I first discovered you in that suit, um, it was during the siege of Batfleck cosplays where everyone was doing a DOJ suit,
Yeah.
myself included. But everyone was doing a DOJ suit. So and you still
Yeah.
had that kind of base, but you just kind of went your own way with it. And I think that's probably my favorite.
Yeah.
Absolutely love that one.
Yeah. it's just like you talked about. I can expand on that. Basically, so BVS came out around 2015, March 2015, I believe, and then from then on, it was like a race for everybody to get that suit done perfectly, and this race lasted like 2015, 16, 17, even 18, I feel like. And even now, like, people are like, no, my suit's more accurate, or that suit's more accurate, or whatever. So I went through like like, yeah, 3 iterations of Batfleck suits, and each one like kind of improved upon the other. And then eventually, like you said, it was it was like a whole ocean of Batfleck cosplays out there in 2017, 18, and I just kind of like I like you said, I wanted to do my own thing. Trying to always like replicate something was kind of getting dull, and the Rebirth suit from the comics is just a gorgeous suit, and nobody was doing it. And I was just like, you know what, I'm do it. And all I have to do was really, it's pretty similar to the Batfleck suit, just has the different gold lining around the emblem, and like I told you, I wanted longer ears, so that's something I wanted to add, and updated belt and changed up the gauntlets with the Justice League ones because I thought the gold from the Justice League ones matched everything else. So yeah, I just wanted to do something new and do something fresh instead of doing the same thing over and over again because I was just kind of tired of doing the same thing, and everyone else doing the same thing. So yeah, I just wanted to stand out a little bit.
Yeah. Well, it
And
certainly
yeah.
did, that's something I've always appreciated about you because anytime I've tried to design a new suit or try to come up with a new idea, and of course there's I guess there's really nothing new, completely new under the sun, but we all try to kind of make our own takes and everything, and I still just end up the old fallback. Everything's got to be like a DOJ base or something like that.
Yeah.
So let's see. There's a couple of silly ones in here.
Okay.
I'm not asking that. So Aaron, I love
Kind of
you,
want to
buddy,
hear it
but
now.
come on, dude.
I kind of want to hear it now.
Okay. Who does your chin and can I borrow it? That's from Aaron Brooks.
From who? Do I know her or
Aaron
him?
Brooks? I don't believe so.
Aaron Brooks. Ah, gosh, why does that sound familiar? Who does my chin? I wish I knew. I mean, it's kind of one of those mysteries of the universe. I guess you're gonna have to get into religion for that. Um, but yeah, that's a good question. No, I mean, I just got lucky, I guess. I mean,
Yeah.
and there's some other good chins out there. It's not like mine's like the best of the best. Like, come
Let's see. What threat did Derek have to make to get you on this show?
on.
It took less convincing than I thought it would take. To be fair, but
Derek was going to expose my whole. um, no, man. Yeah, you just asked nicely, and I usually. Yeah, you seem really organized about it, and you have your own YouTube channel. And I was like, you know what? I'm not doing anything better, and it should be fun. I talk about Batman stuff and go live on both your YouTube and my IG. And it looks like we got some viewers here too. I'm not even watching my IG feed at all. Apologies to anyone who's asked questions on there. For some reason, I can't scroll up on my IG comments. It's weird. I can see people joining, but I can't.
yeah, I was trying to follow along. I don't know what it is. It wasn't letting me follow along with the comments either.
Yeah, it's weird.
Let's see. One more silly question, and then we'll get into
Oh,
a topic that I'm
that's
sure. There's Aaron. Yeah, he loves the question.
that's
You're
our
welcome.
name.
Well, this is another one from Aaron, and
Okay.
I'm sorry in advance. Do you smell of rich mahogany or cedar pine from the deep forest of Narnia? What the hell,
Uh, Very bat related. I don't
Aaron?
know. I don't know. Do people know what they themselves smell like? I don't. I'm gonna have to ask maybe people in people watching the IG, like, what do I smell like if they've ever smelled me? Good question though. That's a tough one. That's the toughest question yet.
Yeah, that's the hardest one. So I think this might be a good question to kind of get into because I'm sure people have asked about this, and I did talk to you a little bit about it beforehand just because I didn't want to make anything awkward. But recently, just to let things get juicy for a minute, there was a little bit of controversy with a we'll call him a minor celebrity or whatever he wants to refer to himself as. There was a little bit of controversy between you and another cosplayer.
Hmm.
Um,
Happens all
and
the time.
I'll go ahead and mention names and just so you know, it's Bucks County Batman for those of you that don't know. And Bucks County Batman, you're obviously more than welcome to you know share your side, but I don't think anything's going to stop him from sharing his opinion because apparently he was just kind of going off and saying some stuff about you that it kind of took me off guard when I read it. I don't really keep up with a lot of the squabble that goes on in the community, but people were asking me about it and asked me what I thought, and I was like, well, I figure if I'm going to have a SaadleUp up here, I might as well hear his side of the story and kind of see what's going on about that. So I'm sure people are curious about the whole Bucks County
Yeah,
Batman situation.
it's just been um, hilarious to me. It's not even something that's bothering me. It's just funny, and I wonder if Bucks is like purposely like is he like actually like serious, or is he like kind of just like gifted like that, like a WWE wrestler or something, where he can just like just BS all these things, and I don't know. I think he's just like trying to make a like a versus thing of me and him, and it's just funny to me. Uh, yeah, I don't know. He made yeah, he made a TikTok video where he's showing all the previous Batman, including like Adam West, Michael Keaton, and then he shows me, and then he's like, and then the TikTok is like, "No, I am king" or whatever. I don't even remember what the actual sound is. So basically, he's taking a dump on Keaton, Adam West, me, to propel himself up, and as a TikTok video, and that was just.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even have to say. I don't have to say anything. That kind of speaks for itself. I mean, on how
Yeah.
low someone can go, and it's just seems childish to me. But again, I don't know if he's actually that immature, or is he doing this on purpose to get a rise out of people and make this like a public
Well,
saddle up versus Bucks thing. I don't know. Like, I kind of want to meet the guy and tell him, "Hey, are you actually like this? Are you actually this narcissistic in real life? I want to know now."
and
So yeah,
to me, like, and again, I'm trying to be as neutral as I can, but I can't imagine someone who okay, someone who dresses up in a bat suit and goes to a BLM rally to get a admittedly decently cool shot, but obviously was not there to help with any of the protests or anything. He was just chasing clout. I won't beat around the bush. Someone
yeah,
who constantly chases clout when he's not doing something like that, he's taking a shower in a $3,000 bat suit because it's a popular trend
man,
or
that's
something
so
like that.
weird.
Like part
Yeah,
of me, yeah, part of me wants to believe that it could just be a like Aaron said, like a WWE promo or just clout chasing. Either way, it most certainly is childish. Either way.
yeah.
Um,
I think it's not really a good look overall. Like, I mean, Batman is such an important character to both of us, and the one of the ideologies about behind Batman is like just doing the right thing, and like the way he goes about in his Batman costume, whether it's taking a bath or um, going to these protests and not actually protesting anything. It's also it's just very weird to say the least, and not very Batman like. Uh, and I don't think it's being very faithful to the character. And um, maybe if he was doing all this stuff in like a Deadpool suit, it'd make a little more sense. But even then, you don't want to take a Deadpool suit to like an actual like BLM protest where people, are getting hurt, and like there's a cause behind that protest, which he didn't seem to give a damn about. So,
You're just kind of making it about yourself at that point.
yeah, and when asked about it, and they were like, "Are you actually there to protest anything?" He was just kind of like, "No, I was just there to give people hope." And it's just like, okay, come on, what are you doing, man? Yeah, he was definitely just using that as a backdrop to film some cool videos, and I mean, it worked out well for him, and that got him a blue check mark on Instagram, and it's
Mm-hmm.
like, if that's what he wants, I don't know. We can't really stop him. I guess he's not really doing anything illegal or anything. But yeah, it's just not a good look for the whole Batman community, for the cosplay community. It was pretty embarrassing.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Luckily, I think most of the Batman and cosplay community are like just aware of his shenanigans, and uh,
Well,
yeah,
it's such a my whole thing is like TikTok and Instagram are notorious for uh, promoting bad, cringy content.
yeah,
It doesn't have to be good; it just has to be clickable. And I saw that stupid video all over the place, and it's just it's distasteful. It really is. Taking
yeah,
politics out of the equation, because we try to avoid that on BatChat, because it's pretty much the only place you can go to not hear that these days. But taking politics out of the equation, you're just making it about yourself. Whether you are for or against the
exactly,
protest is really irrelevant. The second you show up
yeah,
in a bat suit with a camera, you're making it about yourself, and that's
exactly.
just like you said. It's embarrassing to the rest of us, and
Basically, yeah, you're taking advantage of George Floyd's death. I mean, if you really think about it, it's like that's what it's about. And so, yeah, it's just he had no care in the world. He was just like, let me go film this video. And then that video, gosh, yeah, I've seen that video over and over again. It's just like, it got annoying, and it's just people started asking me, "Hey, is this you? Is this you?" And I was like, "No, that's not me. I want to do something
yeah,
like that. Like, I'll take my bat suit out to the grocery store and things like that." And like he does that. I think he goes to like Walmart or every time or whatever. But I mean, that's cool and all. That's cosplay. But I mean, if you're using cosplay, exactly like you said, to just like bring attention to yourself, I think it's just not the way to go about it.
yeah.
And
There's
it's unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, if you really wanted to bring hope to your community, I can think of several many ways that are infinitely better
Yeah.
than to take advantage of something like that. So to kind of lighten things up a little bit there, so yeah, I was actually talking to my wife about that. You had several videos of you like in grocery stores and stuff in your bat suit. I've got a birthday party appearance that I'm doing Sunday, and
Oh,
I
nice.
realized we came back from the grocery store and forgot some things. I'm like, I think I'm gonna pull a saddle up and go to Walmart in a bat suit and see how it goes.
Dude, it's you might as well for the experience. Yeah. Um, you'll you'll bring attention to yourself, but at least it's not like at least you're not taking away from like something else. So like people are there just to get groceries, but if they see Batman, you're just gonna make their day. So it's fine. It kind of works out.
Yeah,
So yeah, yeah. If you want to do that, you should definitely record it, see people's reactions. It's funny.
I may have to.
It also depends on where you are. I did that in L.A., the L.A. area. I went to the grocery store with my buddy Spidey Fit, does Spider-Man, obviously, and we were filming some video stuff, and people just didn't care. It was funny. People were just like, "Oh, it's Batman or Spider-Man." Whatever.
Yeah,
People were just like not really surprised. So, but if obviously almost anywhere else, they'll be pretty intrigued. So,
yeah. It's not
yeah,
something
you
you
should
see
go
every
for
day
it.
in Arkansas.
Yeah, Arkansas, you'd be a hit. Yeah, where in Arkansas are you again?
Where in Arkansas? I'm in Whitehall, Arkansas.
Okay, gotcha.
So now
All
people can track me down. It's a small town, but yeah. Um,
right.
so I guess I'd like to get just for the last few minutes we have with each other here. I did want to ask you some of your opinions on the cosplay community because you've been a part of this for a long time, especially the Batman
Yeah.
cosplay community, and just kind of your opinions on. You kind of talked a little bit about like the race for the most accurate Batfleck suit and things like that. Just kind of your opinion on how this community tends to operate. Like I said, you've been around long enough, actually longer than I have. So I'm just kind of curious to know what your opinion is on how certain things go down typically.
Um, when it comes to what
Like
exactly?
for me, it could be like to take the Batfleck thing for instance, the whole accuracy thing. Whenever you're doing a replica suit, whether it could be
Mhm.
Batfleck or like now with the Pattinson suit,
Oh yeah.
like people who
Okay.
kind of feel like they're better than you because their suits are more accurate. Or
Uh,
I know something that you've dealt with many times is not to again not to necessarily go off in that direction, but some people have given you a hard time about your ethnicity, saying that you don't
mhm,
look like Batman, so giving
mhm.
you a hard time about stuff like that. Um, you know, does that tend to happen within the Batman community, or do you find that that tends to be more people on the outside?
Um, it's tough. I mean, I think there's both bad apples, both in and out of the community. Uh, it's tough. I mean, and again, there are respectful people in and out of the community. That's a good question. I think in the community, like I do like to see the good in people, and I think for the most part, most Batman cosplayers really appreciate each other and want to befriend each other and encourage each other and support each other rather than making it like a competition or whatever because that's like not what cosplay is about. It's really just about having fun and all that and just you know trying to share our fandom of the characters with each other. So um, in the community, I don't. I think it's a good community overall. There's always like the one or two guys and that are just going to be toxic no matter what, and eventually it always backfires on them. I mean, if you're going to be toxic, it's just going to all you're doing is like being poison to yourself. So it's like you're just like digging your own grave. But um, I think for the most part, it's fun. It's a good community. I've made a lot of good friends in it, and happy to be a part of it. And like I said, I think for the most part, it's got lots of good guys in it, and they're very respectful. Um, and if it wasn't, I wouldn't have accepted your interview for one. Like, I mean,
Right.
I kind of knew right away that Derek seems like a decent guy. I'm sure this is going to be fun. It's going to be fun to um, talk to him and yeah, just make a new friend.
Absolutely. Well, it's an absolute honor to have you on there. I remember when I was kind of revamping BatChat. I asked a few people like, "What are some things you like to see?" And they wanted to see more guests. And so I was like, "Okay, well, I'll have a guest every week." And I said, "Who do you want to hear?" And of course, you were easily the number one person that people wanted on here. And I was like, "Well, this ought to be fun." So I just tagged you and a few other people in a story, and then, much to my surprise, you were actually down for it. It's like, absolutely, that'd be fun. So,
Yeah,
absolutely
man.
great to have you on here. I will close with this one question just because I'm curious. What is your most embarrassing, or not most embarrassing? Well, yeah, we'll say most embarrassing con experience or
Most
cosplay
embarrassing.
experience. It doesn't have to be at a con because you do a lot of stuff outside of cons, but most embarrassing cosplay experience.
It actually just happened recently. I think. Um, Let me confirm with myself that it is the most embarrassing. Yeah, it's the most embarrassing. So you might have seen my new Omni Man cosplay, and I took it to Dragon Con, which is my favorite con in the world, and and Dragon Con takes place in Atlanta. You're probably aware of it. It takes place in all these like really fancy hotels in downtown Atlanta, and so there's like escalators like everywhere. And I've always like tried to be wary of using or just like using the escalators when I'm wearing a cape. Uh, and this one time, it was Thursday night, so like the first night of the con, I just was not careful. I think I had a drink in my hand. I was like, whatever, I don't care anymore. And it's not like my cape ever gets caught. It gets caught. And I'm just like, welp, it finally happened. And the escalator just stops. And there are people behind me, and they're just like standing there. So I'm just like, okay, let me get out of the way and let these people come through. I don't want to block traffic because there's so many people there. And I'm trying to like pull it out. I'm like trying to pull it a certain way, and it's just jammed in there. I cannot get it out. I figure I'm probably gonna have to use some scissors or something. And then this one guy is like, "Should I call security?" I'm like, "Yeah, please do that." And I'm kind of sitting there for a minute or two. And it's fine. I mean, I'm like, it's not that big of a deal. Eventually, someone suggests like pulling it the other way in the opposite direction. So I do that, and then I get it out. And so I finally got it out after like 5 minutes of like embarrassing myself. But what was even more worse for me was some chick took a picture, and that's where things go bad because once something goes online, it's like, oh great. So she posted on the Dragon Con Facebook group, which has like 20-30,000 people. I forget how many. She posted on there, and she's like, Omni Man got his cape stuck in the elevator, and like it's got like 1,000 likes and tons of people posting the what's her name?
Edna mode, no capes.
Edna mode, no capes gif. And I'm just like, this cannot be happening. This is an absolute nightmare. And I was just like, all right, I'm just going to accept it for what it is. This is going to be my one embarrassing moment that everyone gets to know about. I don't think I actually talked about it on my IG. I think I was going to make a post about it, but kind of forgot about it. Maybe I still will someday. But yeah, everyone's kind of laughing. And I'm like, yeah, that's me. People were actually concerned. Like they were like, was he okay? Like what? Like was he going to get hurt? Like was he in trouble? And I was like, I was fine. I got it out. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Thank you for all the concern. But yeah, that was my most embarrassing experience. Not just because it happened then and there, but it went online and so many people saw it, and I don't know if I really needed that. And then the next day at the con, when I was wearing the suit again, people were like, "Were you the Omni Man? That guy's cape stuck in the escalator?" And I was like, maybe there's other Omni Men at this con. So yeah, that was probably my most embarrassing moment that I can recall recently.
Yeah. Well, thank God you weren't wearing a visual vigilante cape with like the big old D ring over here at the neck, just completely decapitate you.
Yeah, luckily it was just velcroed onto my back. So I mean, if it was really going to pull on me, it would have just like come off, and
yeah,
it would have been fine. So
that's always my greatest fear. I always feel so emasculated whenever I'm going up an escalator because I like pull the cape around, hold it like a dress, just try to hold it up, keep it out of the escalator. But
exactly. Yeah, keep doing that. Don't stop. I mean, it is emasculating. It looks goofy, but don't do what I did and just take that, because it's always going to be that one time where you're not careful. That one time you're not wearing your seatbelt, and that's when it's going to finally have an accident. So yeah, just always be careful for sure.
Most definitely. Well, man, thank you so much for being on here. I really do appreciate you hopping on. Like I said, I'm a huge fan, always have been, and I was just stoked when you actually agreed to be on here. I would love to have you back anytime.
For sure. Yeah, I had a lot of fun. Thank you, man.
Yeah, and we'll definitely, because I mean there was more questions. I'm sorry to everyone who's sending questions. We weren't able to get to all of them. I didn't want to keep them for too long because I knew that you were out of town. But yeah, you and I have a lot of mutual interest. I mean, obviously, Batman is one of them. I don't look it, but fitness is also something I'm really into, and it seems to be something that you like as well. So that could be a whole nother episode, just bat
Yeah,
fit or whatever, and
yeah, for sure, dude.
and stuff like that. But man, it's just absolute blast having you on here. Absolute honor. And
Thank
thank
you.
you to everyone who joined the IG Instagram live. I almost said IGTV. I mean, I guess it will be on IGTV, but thanks for everyone who joined live and here on YouTube. And I noticed several people were liking and following, and man, I absolutely appreciate that. And of course, as I'm talking, my camera's going to go dead, and we're back. Okay, but again, thank you so much for being on here, and we'd
Well,
definitely love to have you back in the near future. Do you have any closing remarks you'd like to say? That way, you don't have to end on an embarrassing story.
no, man. Yeah, I too appreciate our chat, and thank you for having me. I'm just honored for all the all the kindness you throw my way, and I really I'm glad I did this. I really got a kick out of it, and makes you kind of reflect on everything, on Batman and cosplay and all that. And I appreciate the questions a lot. It was a lot of fun. Thank you,
Absolutely.
Derek.
Well, we'll definitely have you back. And for those of you that want to hear, if you weren't able to catch the whole thing live, it will be on my IGTV. I think it will be. I can tag you in it. I don't know if you'll be able to have it on yours, but I'll have you tagged in it. But also, you can check
Okay.
my link tree. You can listen to it in a podcast form or on YouTube because it will be live on both, and you can watch this after the fact. And look forward to having you back, my friend.
Thank you so much, dude. Have a good weekend.
Yes, sir. You do the same. And I'm going to go ahead and end the Instagram live, and
Okay.
we'll continue on with the rest of the BatChat afterwards. So, talk to you later, my friend.
All right. Talk to you later.
See you. All right. And I think, yeah. So, Instagram live is ended, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And I'll make sure I've got you tagged in. Oh, I'm still live on YouTube. It's all right. I'll get you tagged in the actual. Um, get you tagged in the Instagram. That way you can share it if you need to.
Yeah, I'll store it.
Alrighty. Well, thank you so much for being on, my
Usually,
friend.
usually it tells you how many people viewed your live Instagram. Maybe it's telling you and not me, but I don't see it. It's weird.
It's still posting on my end. I think we
Okay.
had around 20 or something people at one point at one
Yeah,
time.
but
It
it used to tell me like the total people, so it could have been. Maybe it's just something that's on your end. I'm not sure.
gotcha.
Uh,
Well, if
and
it tells
again,
me,
sorry about
I'll let you
being
know.
late, by the way, dude. I hope that wasn't a big deal. I think I was like 15 minutes late. I apologize again.
No, not at all. Not at all. Don't you worry
Cool.
about it. All right. Well, I'm going to hop on to the next segment of the show. So I don't think
Okay.
you'll be visible at that point. So that's where I have to cut you off, my friend.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks for having me, man. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. And I'll get with you and have you on some other time.
That's cool. Yeah. If you need anything, always shoot me a message. I'll try to be punctual with it.
You're good. You're good. You're a busy man. I understand
um,
completely.
again, yeah, I get a ton of Instagram messages, obviously. So if you're on Facebook, that would work better for me in terms of communication. If you just want to add me, just search Saad. You'll probably see me. We probably have tons of mutual friends, so you should probably see me.
Hmm.
But yeah, Facebook is a much easier way to get in contact with me, just because I don't get like 50 messages a day on there.
All right. Well, I'll definitely do it.
Cool. All right, man.
All right.
Have a good weekend.
You too. Bye bye. All right. So, oh crap. Let me go back to for those of you who are still watching on YouTube. You're getting a fun view of me. Let me get off here real quick. This is definitely the disadvantage of doing it this way. Sometimes the video wants to kind of mess up a little bit, but let me see if we can get this figured out here. Okay, so we're back. I'll center this over and just do a big big full screen thing. Okay, now you can see me. So again, a huge thank you to SaadleUp for being on this episode of BatChat. Absolutely appreciate him so much. Huge honor to have him on. Let me make sure, we're still live on YouTube. For those of you who are still watching. Before I sign out, I did want to go ahead and shout out this week's Cosplayer of the Week. And this was actually a really cool one. I wanted to shout out Mr. Let me change this so you can actually see his whole name there. But yeah, Mr. Frank's Cartoon and Cosplay. Absolutely wonderful cosplays. I'm just going to get me off the screen here. And now we can see some of the wonderful cosplays this young man has done. Really, really great stuff. He's got a great reverse flash here that he did. He has a really cool kind of Pattinson Flashpoint Batman type thing that I really enjoy, as well as a great Boba Fett. Just absolutely looks fantastic. So go give him a follow. He will be linked in the description below, so you can go give him a follow, of course. And then that's pretty much it. I do want to talk about next week's guest, someone who is a good friend of mine, and look forward to having him on here. And that is, of course, my friend Mr. Michael Enoch of the Bat and the Cat Cosplay. Absolutely great guy, great cosplayer as well. He and his lovely wife. I don't believe she will be able to join us, but I think he will be on. And again, I'll leave it open for you guys to send in your questions as well. Be a lot of fun. We're going to be talking about all sorts of stuff. He makes these great muscle suits as well as other really fantastic products. So, of course, we'll be talking about that. I'm actually getting some muscles from him for a few projects that I'm looking forward to. And we'll, of course, be talking about that. So definitely look forward to having Michael on here. Other than that, I think that is it. Guys, thank you so much for watching this week's episode of BatChat. Little shorter episode than planned. Again, that's just because this is a week where Saad, who's a very, very busy man, was free, but he was out of town, so we only had a little bit of time to hang out a little bit. So if this was a little bit more of an awkward episode because we're trying to work around those schedules and everything, I do apologize, but hopefully you still got some great content. Absolutely amazing cosplayer, and I'm looking forward to having him back again. And thank you guys to everyone who's sending questions. Feel free to continue to do so. Unfortunately, I'm not always going to be able to get to every single one of them, but hey, the more questions you send in, the more likely I'll be able to get to yours. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this episode of BatChat. Be sure to listen to this in podcast form if that is your preference on Apple Podcasts as well as Spotify. I think there might be a few other places as well, but those are the ones that most people use. You can also watch this on YouTube. You can also watch the interview portion of this on my Instagram, or see other fun stuff on my Instagram, which is linked in the description below. You can give it a follow and check it all out, and I really do appreciate that. Again, Saad, Mr. SaadleUp, sir, thank you so much for being on. It was an absolute honor to have you on, and look forward to having you again. And for the rest of you guys, we will see you next week, Saturday, 2 p.m. Central. We were a little bit late this week because we were having some technical difficulties, but typically it would be Saturday afternoons, 2 p.m. Central, same bat time, same bat channel. Y'all have a blessed day. We'll see you next week.